So here's what happened to me. I've competed and placed in natural bodybuilding competitions where the winner failed the drug test. Not only did they fail the drug test, but the person who came second in the competition won the next competition and failed that drug test. And some of the other people in the very same lineup who were ahead of me would fail drug tests in subsequent competitions as well. And the reality is that there are individuals out there who compete in natural bodybuilding competitions and who use drugs. So, should you be competing in natural bodybuilding competition? The answer is absolutely yes. And not with organizations that are promoting steroid use. That being said, of course you should be competing in natural bodybuilding competitions. Listen, here's the problem. There's a lot of fitness influencers out there who take the easy route. And the easy route is pulling something down. They pull down natural bodybuilding and they pull down natural bodybuilding competitions, saying that the drug testing is a farce and that everybody in the competition are all on drugs. And I'm not going to compete in a natural bodybuilding competition because it's not fair. And we know for a fact that those guys are on steroids. It is absolute nonsense. Because here's the thing. If you don't compete in a natural bodybuilding competition, you miss the whole point of what competition in natural bodybuilding is supposed to be about, which is the pursuit of self-excellence. The reason why I started competing in natural bodybuilding competitions was very, very simple. It wasn't to win trophies, folder. It felt really good when I did. It was to put myself up against the best competition I possibly could to push myself towards excellence. And nothing can bring excellence out more than when you're up against some of the best in the world. And that's exactly what happened when I was competing back in the 90s and the early 2000s. And here's the deal. Yes, there were a few competitors who were using drugs, and we have to be realistic about this. Back in my time competing in the NGA, people had to be at least 3 years drug-free in order to compete in those competitions. So very often, I was going up against athletes who could have been using steroids for decades, stopped for 3 years, and now we're competing naturally. Would that individual have a significant advantage over me? Absolutely. Would that stop me from competing in a natural bodybuilding competition? Absolutely not. Why? Because again, pursuit of excellence. The pursuit of excellence isn't trying to go up against people who are mediocre. I don't care if the person in front of me is using steroids or not. I am still going to get into the best possible shape, and I'm also going to push myself and take myself far beyond any limits I thought possible before, because I want to excel and I want to be the best I can possibly be. And it's also why 20 years after my last show, at 50 years old, I still look like this. All the other competitors for me were nothing more than pacers in this race. Pacers that are going to help me run harder, run further, run faster, run better. Nothing else. And it comes full circle again to what I was saying about people saying that they're not going to compete in natural bodybuilding competitions. Every time someone says that the competitions are rigged and that the testing is a sham, it's just a polygraph test, because for most competitions, you will have to do a polygraph test. And if you win your class or the overall, at that point, you do a urine test. Now, can you beat polygraph tests? Absolutely. Do I know of individuals who have competed in natural bodybuilding competitions and confided in me and told me straight out they were using drugs and laughed about the fact they beat the test? Absolutely. Yes, I do. However, whenever I ask someone who criticizes natural bodybuilding competitions, what would you do differently? They don't really have an answer. And that's the problem. Most people don't understand how difficult it is to keep the cheaters out. So you do the best you can. But I know for a fact that some of the head of the natural bodybuilding competitions that I've competed with over the years are really and truly honestly trying to do their best with the resources available to them. Resources are not infinite and nothing is perfect. The very well-funded World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, tests about several 100,000 Olympic athletes every single year, and they average about 1 to 2% of these samples testing positive for prohibited substances. But here's the thing, in one anonymous survey of several thousand world-class amateur athletes, up to 57% of them admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs in the past year, meaning that there could literally be tens of thousands of athletes competing in the Olympics using drugs and who don't get caught. So that being said, do you think it's really possible to weed out every single cheater in natural bodybuilding competitions? Absolutely not. It's not possible. But Of all the competitions that I've been in, the number of people who I know for a fact were using drugs and who were found out to be using drugs is a tiny, very, very, very small sliver compared to the number of athletes who are seriously lifetime drug-free. I always hear this nonsense. I know a guy, my buddy, he competes in natural body competitions and he uses drugs. Therefore, everyone's on drugs. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. It's like saying, I know someone who goes to the gym and has really big arms. So everybody who goes to the gym must have big arms. That is an absolutely absurd argument. And again, none of the individuals who have all these negative things to say ever take the time to actually go to natural bodybuilding competitions, actually meet the athlete, spend some time with them, see how much you could learn from them, see the judges, the officials, and how hard they try to work to create a community and an environment where people can compete naturally. But the fact is, we have to also be very aware that we have to be the change that we want to see in the world. It is hard to see so many young men and women who died because they were using drugs to get ready for these bodybuilding competitions. And we always hear about the famous ones, but for every famous person who dies using steroids getting ready for a bodybuilding competition, there are many, many more who either die or suffer serious health consequences, and we never hear about it. And I'm not saying this out of fear-mongering. I'm saying this as someone who's personally lost a lot of friends over the years to drug use. And so yes, natural bodybuilding competitions may not necessarily be perfect, but it's what we have. And if we want to make them better, we, the natural athletes, need to step up and compete. And not with organizations that are promoting steroid use. As the popularity of mainstream bodybuilding, which does involve copious amounts of drugs, has declined significantly over the past 20 plus years, some of those bodybuilding organizations are starting to offer natural competitions to try to lure in natural athletes, with the promise that somehow or the other they could win pro cards and compete at a higher level, which is simply impossible. Number one, because it's kind of like someone having a speedboat race, allowing you to join their race with your kayak. There's no way whatsoever you have a chance of winning or even doing well. And besides, a natural bodybuilder who competes in an organization that promotes the use of steroids is kind of like going to a substance abuse clinic that's run by the cartels. Don't make that mistake and instead support established natural bodybuilding federations. And all you have to do is go backstage to a drug-tested natural bodybuilding competition. Feel the camaraderie. See people seeing their friends who they haven't seen for a long time. Hear the conversations. Really realize it feels very much like a family. And then go backstage to a competition where it's non-drug tested. You're not going to get the same degree of camaraderie you would get from a natural bodybuilding competition. So if you're on the fence and considering competing in a natural bodybuilding competition and you are yourself really natural, go ahead and do it. Don't listen to any of the nonsense that those people who lack the confidence and also lack the courage to put it out there and compete. Because it's really easy to sit back and say, oh no, I'm not going to compete in a natural competition, because then you don't lose anything. You don't risk anything. You also don't have any hard work to do. You also have any pursuit of excellence to achieve. And you also, most importantly, miss out on being part of a movement that's trying to help people better themselves. But at the end of the day, that's what natural bodybuilding should be about. Now, bear in mind, I have no affiliations whatsoever at this point with any bodybuilding competitions or organizations. I'm saying this and doing this video because I believe in you out there. I believe that you have what it takes to go out there and make natural bodybuilding something better. My entire career wouldn't have happened had I not competed as a natural bodybuilder. And I'm eternally grateful. And this is my way of giving back. Giving back by hopefully helping encourage you to go out there, become part of the community, make the community bigger and better, and encourage other people to follow the natural path as well. Now, if you like this video, you have to watch this one on the harsh reality of natural bodybuilding. So thank you so much for tuning in. Know that I truly believe in you. And as always, Excelsior.